Hey everybody, welcome to the 13th episode of Cyberpunk Red, Night City Discordance. Where we last left off, the group had just gotten their money and finished their show for DM brands, and now they have their money and their payout, and they're trying to decide what they want to do with it. And they've got an interesting course of action they want to pursue. So they kind of wrap out some of the details on that, and then get a call for a meeting with DM Brands Records representative Michelle for a little bit of a business proposition. Let's see where that goes. So both CD and Mr. Bengal have connections with Rogue. CD is going to be the one making the initial approach, though, right?
Right.
So you sent a message out to Rogue. Her people get back to you that say we can make this happen. What's the time frame that you want to have this done in?
I'd like to have it done as soon as possible, but I'm also realistic about this. I mean, a week or two.
Okay.
But I need a specific date so we can get people to know.
Give us a week, and it's going to be a 20% charge off the top.
Sounds fair.
Okay. We'll make it happen. Do you have a specific location you want us to bring the goods, or do you want to just let us know, let you know when we have them, and then you can direct us to where you want them dropped off?
Sounds good.
All right. Rogue will be in touch. I'll make sure she gets everything. And can you forward the funds?
Yeah. No problem.
He'll give you the account number.
Yeah. I'll assemble with the rest of the group and make sure we have all the.
All right. So you wire out.
If you don't, I can go net run. We're good.
Disperse it well.
You wire out 26,500 euro bucks. About 5,000 of which are being kept by the fixer for their fee.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And you're going to get roughly 2 trailers worth of goods, food, water, hygienic, supplies, clothing, your basic necessities. Now, you do get a follow-up question on the food items. What type of quality are you looking for? We can do kibble and get a ton of it. Or do you want to go with more upscale, cloned meats, vegetables? What do you want to go with that?
That's a good question. What does everybody else here think? I mean, I want to feed people real food, but also I understand how extravagant real food is.
That's going to cut down the price.
Isn't
there non-big corp?
Right? Aren't there tiers above kibble?
It's all big corp money at that point. So let's be honest here. You're going through a fixer, especially Rogue. You're literally going through Afterlife to get some solos. They're hiring solos to handle this, to steal this shit for you guys. For the solos, it's going to be a milk run. But for the people who are on the receiving end of the goods you're basically purchasing with that, what's going to essentially be blood money, is whatever you want. Now, anything that's quality is going to be corporate. You have All Foods, which is doing more meat-based products. You have Biotechnica, that does a lot more of the plant-based products as well. They do a lot of medicines too. And then you have Continental, which is pretty much kibble all the time.
Right, and if the solos are going out to steal all this,
Well, that's one method. I mean, you don't really know what the procurement's going to look like.
Why don't we do my opinion would be like mid-tier stuff above shit kibble, something that the people are going to enjoy when they eat
I would
normally get.
Yeah. I would want people to I would want people to probably have more humane foods, less meats and kibble, and more like vegetarian or vegetable
and the fruits
type stuff.
like that.
So more like the Biotechnica route then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I would want people to get stuff that's probably better for them.
And basic med kits and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Soap, toothpaste,
right.
Those sorts of things.
Yeah. They'll make it happen.
Tissues.
So after you clarify, when he's like, hey, what kind of food do you want? We can do kibble, we can do this. And you're like, hey, more healthy shit that's not, filled with a ton of preservatives and shit like that. No kibble. Yeah. No kibble, 100%. You send that message and Rogue's agent's like, yeah, not a problem. I'll let her know and we'll make it happen. And the message has been sent off. You've sent the Eurobucks out. And now you just wait for a week. Now, during this time, a couple days pass, and you know that Tyra's looking into warehouses for you guys in Haywood, and maybe out towards a little more towards the landfill that's southeast of Night City. which is ironically relatively close to the the Snake Nation
In the
Cyberfix.
sunset.
Right, the Ripper Dock. So the sunset's straight east, essentially. This is more southeast.
Okay, fair.
After about 3 or 4 days, Vox gets a call from Michelle.
Well, I'll answer.
Was this on speaker or is it just
Well,
solo?
yeah, it'll be on
That's the
speaker.
question. You put on speaker?
Absolutely.
Good man.
Well, hello, Michelle.
Mr. Vox
Pleasure to hear from
Tone.
you.
Indeed. How are you doing today?
I am doing quite well, and yourself?
I hear that everything went good with the transfer to your representative.
That is correct.
Would you be able to meet with me in the next day or so?
Probably not. But
Well, I think
where?
we really need to have
Just
a
out of
sit down.
curiosity.
Little Chinatown.
I mean, I think maybe something could be worked out. Just
Okay.
give me address and time.
She sent you an address. The address, when you get it through on your agent, it's right on the verge of Little China and the Upper Marina. Now, the Upper Marina has been getting rebuilt. Back in the day, there was a lot of shipping docks here, a lot of yacht docks here, and it was kind of a sometimes nice, but sometimes really shitty neighborhood. Now they've been rebuilding it since the city center has been destroyed by the nuke from Silverhand.
Right.
So this has kind of gotten a little more upscale in the Upper Marina. Little China is still a combat zone. The address is literally right on the cusp, like one of the main roads that's right there. It's right by that main like artery, essentially for traffic. She gives you a apartment number and a building number on the street.
Well, fair enough. I guess we'll see you then.
All right, meet me in 2 days if that's good. Say around noon.
Noon works. Ray, is that the South Night City Combat Zone that you're?
No, so let me pull you guys over to that map actually, and
Yeah,
I'll
let
show
me
you.
stand map
I'll
real
ping it.
quick. Just because we have like local expert or something like that, because I have specific areas that I know
So-
very well.
I heard a noise and I saw nothing.
So right around here, you see that ping?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
yeah.
Yes, I did. Okay, so
All right. Yep.
Little
So
China,
right.
Upper Marina.
Yep, Little China Upper Marina, that's right around the area. It's right on the cusp. And now Little China is still a combat zone. It's a pretty hot combat zone, but it's right skirting the border of Upper Marina. So, okay neighborhood, essentially.
Okay. I'll obviously everybody will have access to the address if they want to do their own legwork or whatever, and I'll
Yep.
just after I'm off the phone with her, I'll be like, so now I just got to decide within 2 days if I'm gonna go or if I'm just gonna say fuck it and we're busy.
One way or another, CD. If he goes, you go with him. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with them.
Beautiful.
Why wouldn't you go?
I
Because
I
it's
never
Michelle.
know. You have things you do on your own that I
No,
don't.
no.
presume to know.
But why Vox wouldn't you go? Are you afraid of Michelle?
I'm not afraid of Michelle. I have my paranoias.
Okay.
Ray, I'm a net runner.
I'll go with
what do I
you.
have there?
What do you want to look up?
Everything.
All right,
Last
the
time I
address
went-
that she
the last
gives.
time I went for a requested meal, I caught a grenade to the throat. So
Well, if
Yeah,
she
but that was with
tries
your
anything,
manager.
If she tries anything, I'll bite her nose off.
Well, to be fair, he'll probably shank a bitch or two. Maybe.
So for Z, looking up this address, the apartment number she gives you is in a high rise that's right on the edge of Little China. It's still in Little China. You know, it's still kind of a rough neighborhood, but it's a high rise building. The apartment number is a penthouse that overlooks Upper Marina.
Okay. How rough are we talking?
It's in a combat zone
Like I
still.
have to send CZ? Or
You don't have
CD
to.
there?
You don't have to send CD, but it's still like it's still a combat zone. It's still a rough neighborhood. Like there are gangs there that regularly roam and regularly hold people up. You guys have lived. Pretty much all of you have lived in combat zones for most of your life. So for you guys, you know how to take care of yourself in combat zones, but it's
Right.
still a rough neighborhood.
Which CZ gangs are there? So I can let Vox know.
So in Little China and like old Japantown, you have the tiger claws that kind of roam around that area.
Which we've already run into.
Right. Well, you have heard
Kinda.
Tiger Claws killed somebody. That was the contact that Alpache was working with for the whole Militech
Right.
deal. He was killed on Jigjid Street, which got a laugh out of Chris. Tiger Claws are generally around that area, and a couple other a couple other gangs will kind of roam through from time to time. It depends on who's ruling that turf at that part of the year or that day even. These lands can change hands a lot in combat zones.
So Vox obviously gets this information from Z. Is like, here's who's usually running it, but you know.
We'll take it as it comes. I'm not too worried about it. Like was stated already, we all grew up in combat zones in one way, shape, or form.
CD, after last time, please go with him.
Of course.
Well, unless you guys have something pressing to do, why don't we all go?
Would this be before or after I take the day or so to get the free upgrade on the vehicle?
This will be after.
Okay, so I gotta.
Yeah, because you guys had 2 or 3 days and then another 2 days or so before this meeting, so you got plenty of time to get the vehicle.
A couple days before our food and necessities drive.
Yes, at least
before
4
we're
or so
notified
days.
that they have them.
Yeah,
all right.
Because they're gonna let you guys know when it's available.
I'll open it up to the group as far as like preferences on what the upgrade is, because there's a couple of really good options, I think.
Armor.
While you discuss that, I'll be right back.
Well,
Literally, Z just goes armor.
In the end, it'll be your decision because this is your area of expertise. But yeah, hit us.
I know. I mean, I appreciate input though. Like, so one is an armored chassis, so it'll just
guns.
It'll have armor. We can get guns. The problem is then it becomes less. It's like obvious then.
Yeah.
Like it's we're driving on the street with a machine gun mounted to the back of the damn thing. So I don't really know about that. The armor is nice because it's armor. We can do a communication center, which will give an onboard agent, 6 radio communicators, 6 scrambler descramblers, a radio scanner, music player, a homing tracer.
And Z could use it. Z could use it as a mobile
and an audio.
That's all trackable though. That's the problem I have here.
Yeah,
but we're constantly moving.
It doesn't matter. It's still They can trace the car.
Only when it's on.
There's the security upgrade, which basically means we can use DNA locks. So we could have it keyed to all of our thumbprint, iris scan, blood sample, or whatever else we want to use to lock or unlock it. Anybody who's unauthorized that tries to get in, it's like getting hit with a stun baton. The bonus with that is it also comes with a cloaking feature.
I mean, I love you, but my bitch ass doesn't know how to drive.
Hold on.
The cloaking feature is hidden. It takes a DV-17 perception check if it's remaining still. The vehicle's remaining still to see
solid.
It. That's kind of
like
cool.
That option.
The security is pretty cool. If we want to go like something fun, there's a combat plow.
But isn't that obvious too?
It's a little obvious, yeah.
Little bit.
Let's wait until we draw enough heat to
Train.
warrant something like that.
Yeah.
Until then, we're small fries at the moment.
So I'm thinking armor or security upgrade.
A combat plow
With armor.
is not
Right?
subtle.
Listen,
Right.
stop
yeah.
using your Bluetooth while you're in the bathroom. First
Which
of
is
all.
why
Second of all,
I'm trying to steer us away from like machine guns and flamethrowers and all that.
I mean, to be fair,
I'm
Ray is
thinking-
trying to be a responsible ST, as we have talked about on the table talks.
Yeah.
The security
Well-
thing includes that cloaking device, right?
He's big
Yes.
about telling us
I
this.
like that a lot. I would go with that over armor even.
I would go with armor just because I know the shit I'm about to get into.
Well, we do already have bulletproof glass.
That
Right.
doesn't save you from a corpo trying to fucking kill your ass.
It doesn't, but we have a land vehicle that can go 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
My
That's
statement
pretty
stands.
ridiculous.
You guys got a pretty souped up fucking car right now.
My statement stands, given the bitch who's about to go net running. My statement stands.
Max is good with the driving and shit. So
Max
Okay, I'm
drive.
not worried about
I think
Max. I'm worried about
security-
me.
I'm thinking security, and then when we get there, armor afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I meant like a 20 on driving before I even.
Yeah.
roll. Ray, we're gonna go with the security upgrade.
Okay.
Okay.
They can get installed. You basically just have your vehicle. You take it out for like a day or so to a camp that's farther out east. Past the hotel you guys stayed in, more into some more Snake Nation territory. It doesn't take long. Santiago hooks you up. He's pretty much your main point of contact. He's a fixer for the clan. So like what you need, he hooks you up with, like the night market, etc. They take the vehicle for like a day, get it back to you. They show you how to use it. Make sure that Polly and everybody else who wants to know how it works knows how it works. You guys can operate it, and it lets you loose with it.
Beautiful.
And then
In that
another
day
day or
that-
so
in that
passes.
In that day that we're out there, is that but the same place that was really close to the dump?
No, that's the Ripper
Okay.
Dock. So you
Okay.
guys are going further east. That was southeast. You head out that way for maybe about 4 or 5 hours before you get to this little encampment where you guys see a bunch of Snake Nation camps set up. They're again like holed up in half collapsed structures, like an old town on the side of the road, essentially. You know, like an old one horse town. You blink, you pass through it. Whatever remnants are still there, the occasional burned out building or just half collapsed building, they set up shop there for a couple of days or so while they're doing stuff here and seeing to other issues in the territory. That's where you get your vehicle fixed up.
Okay, gonna assume Z hears nothing out of Truman.
No, actually,
Okay.
quite the opposite. You actually get some message from Truman. She's like, "Holy shit, you guys' show went viral. Like, what the fuck?" Like, it's all text message unless you want to call her.
Z will probably, when she has a chance, call her, but not
Mm-hmm.
from an area near the band.
Right. Yeah,
Just
you
in
make
case, 'cause
you have a
paranoid.
couple of days where you guys are arranging stuff that you can get away for a little bit and make a
Right.
phone call. Not a problem.
Yeah, we had 5 days
that's
before we
legit.
left.
Yeah.
Before we
Oh,
left
yeah.
to go get the
She's
vehicle
just
fixed.
making sure she's not near the rest of the band, so if they tail her, they're not tailing the band.
Yeah, you make your call. Nobody seems to be following you for your paranoia's sake. But that
That's
doesn't
it. It
mean they're
doesn't
not.
Stop the paranoia.
There could be drones, who knows. But you call Truman, she's like, "You guys went fucking viral. What the hell was that all about?"
Well, that's what the band wanted to do, so that's the band. Somebody called us out, so
No, hey, it's fucking legit. The show was fucking great. I love the instruments you guys got, but fuck, you blew them all up the hell. And she chuckles.
I'd say Z will actually laugh with her. Yeah, that was kind of that might have been Vox's idea. Maybe a little bit.
Fair enough.
A little bit.
We did our thing, which did ridiculously good. To be honest, following your shit, people stayed and paid for the show after because they thought we were doing some crazy shit. Now, we didn't do what you guys did. Obviously, we played some of our good stuff, but
Yeah, no, I can't imagine Iona did
no,
anything near what Vox did.
Yona, like, honestly, probably pissed her pants seeing what you guys did. But to be honest, you guys kicked our asses in terms of, like, the show and how good it was.
So, from me, for what it's worth, which is approximately nothing, tell Yona, sorry Vox did that, but not really. But yes, but no. But yes, but no.
It'll be all right. Don't worry about it. Yona is just...
You know what? Y'all grew up far differently than we did.
Oh, no. Don't even get it twisted, girl. Like, I adore the shit out of you, but we didn't grow up that different. We just had different experiences.
Well,
Yona, I
you
don't
and
know.
I did.
Yona, I don't know where she's from. She had problems, whatever. But, that's why she's still getting over it. It's fine. She'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I just don't want her to fucking fret too much. Because, I mean, you
No.
know, we're not trying to play into the Chet angle of, oh my god, they hate the new trash.
No.
Not our fucking
it's,
thing.
It's not like you guys, you jammed out with us. She thinks you're cool. She just doesn't really get the point of what you guys are doing.
I mean, if Fiona wants to fucking talk to me, she can just fucking call me.
I don't
I'm
know.
not, like, hugely popular, and that's not going to take a mess. That's not my deal.
It's not even like that, hon. You know that. It's more of the
know.
fact that she just doesn't really.
She doesn't open up.
Well, no, she doesn't get the message because the point is, from her point of view, is that what are you guys fighting against? It's inevitable. You're basically punching a brick wall. You know.
Punch the brick wall.
No, I get it. I get it. Trust me, I get it. She just.
I know. You and Verge get it.
Yeah, we're good. I have no issue with it.
I miss you.
Yeah, we should probably hang out some point soon.
Well-
I would like that. But hey, actually, we got a show coming up.
Do you?
About a week and a half or so. Yeah, we're playing the Wild Westbrook. It's this
Really?
venue. Yeah, it's a venue in Westbrook, a little closer to like Upper Marina. We've got a
Let's
show
see here.
coming out. It's yeah, about a week and a half or so. Should be good. I'll get you guys all tickets. Make sure they're set up.
All right. I'll at least try to show.
I'd appreciate it if you did. That'd be awesome.
I know. I mean, assuming we aren't horribly busy.
Well, hey,
You know
you
how
guys.
it goes when you're this, and actually Z will actually affect the like.
You know, you guys
As long as we're
made.
not this popular.
Well, I don't know about all of that. Well, actually, I do because it was everywhere. You guys were like wildfire. Somebody put you guys out like crazy. We don't know who the fuck it was, but like,
Girl, you know my ass is joking.
well, you made DMB like €2 million. You know that, right?
We don't pay attention to that shit.
No, we do.
Literally, Z turns around, looks at Polly, and goes, "Soup."
2 mil. That's what you guys brought in. Like with all their
Wow.
affiliate shit and charges for watch. Like it was nuts.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's,
Um,
I think, more than any of us ever thought
I-
we would.
I think the forecast was like just to do it at cost, to make the 20 grand back.
I mean, that was kind of our plan, but yeah.
Well, right, but somebody put you guys out there like crazy. Like
Yeah,
we
and
didn't know
I'm
who
sure
it was.
Michelle's not happy with us for that one.
No, Michelle's fucking livid that you guys made $2 million, and she's wondering why the fuck we aren't pulling that in for a show. So
But let me ask this, darling. Do you give a fuck?
I think it's hilarious. So no,
Oh, good. Okay. So I haven't pissed you off. I'm happy.
no, you didn't. Why would you piss me off? You guys did your thing. It was awesome. You did a great
Excellent.
show. But
And you guys did well after us. So
well, we did good. We just couldn't top a dragon burning instruments all over a stage good. So like we were on top
I
of a
thought
building.
you guys did just fine.
You probably didn't even watch on. You probably got your ass out of Dodge. But I
That
appreciate
doesn't
it.
mean I'm not watching.
No, I appreciate it though. But I have to go. I have to go to practice for the show coming up.
Absolutely. And
Hit me up when you're
next
free. Maybe
time,
we'll hit a couple bars or something. All right.
I'd be down for that.
Cool. Talk to you later, huh?
Bye, babe.
And she hangs up.
Which point Z turns, looks at her bands, and goes, "Okay, so that's a thing.
What's the thing?
Everything's a thing." We massively pissed off Michelle. Good job. Well done.
You mean the woman whose nose I'm gonna bite off?
You knew
There you
that.
go.
I'm not gonna tell her
mean,
you're gonna
like-
bite her nose off. That just ruins the surprise.
I mean, like,
It's not my job.
It sucks,
Before the show,
it sucks
and now
that we
she's
made them
more
so much
pissed
money.
after.
Who do we make
But
money
at the same
for?
time, does it really?
Yes, because it's a corporation that is garbage, and that's why we
I'm
burnt
not
their shit
talking
on
about
stage.
DMS. I'm talking about Truman.
I don't give a
Urge
shit about
and Fiona.
TNT. They're good for what they do, and I don't have a problem with them. I'm pissed off that we made $2 million for DMS or DMB.
Whatever.
yeah.
At this point, I
Well-
can always steal it back.
Also, you have to look at it this way: the corp is going to make money off of our backs one way or the other.
Right.
We
I know.
can't stop the corpse from making money.
Even
But
if
what
we
we
start our
can
own
do-
label, that's going to be a thing. That's going to be a thing.
Even if we made our own label, if we got popular enough, they would just buy us out or put us out of business.
Yeah.
If they want to give us money so we can give it away, great. Then we're charity. At least
At
we're
which
doing
point-
our part.
TNT, the band
Sure.
that a couple of you, several of you, are looking at as complete sellouts, are celebrating us.
They should, because we actually have integrity and they want to be that.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
Hey, man. They need to fucking step it up. They gotta be
Quality.
real, man.
I'm gonna let you in on a secret, Z. I don't care what any other band does. I only care what we do.
And
Yeah,
that's perfectly fair, which is
I
why
don't-
I'm trying to get everybody else on board with the same path of logic you have.
Yeah, I don't care what like bite me whatever some
Oh,
band I've never
fuck
heard
him.
of. And I don't care about TNT. They seem like great people, but we have a different agenda.
And that's fine. And that's us. Thankfully, at least 2 of them accept that us is us. I'm working on the 3rd. Give me a minute.
Whatever, man. That's their hang up, not ours.
Well, and knowing what 2 of them came from, they're close already as it stands, like just from what they came from. Yona, on the other hand, I got some work to do, but I'm gonna work on it.
I feel like if you're not now, you never were.
It's not a matter of if you're not now, you never were. You can still turn someone to a cause, to a message, without them ever having lived that life.
Care. I mean, I don't want to make you think like you're less of a person for wanting to educate people, but my job is not educator.
No, that's.
I don't want to turn them to anything.
Love you to death, CD. That's why I'm doing it and you're not.
There you go.
I understand where
is,
you're at. I just want you guys to see I'm working, doing what I
Truman-
can.
Does Truman ever talk about her family?
Not yet. Let me show up around them one more time, barefaced, because I don't want to give any more to this, like, oh, TNT is hanging out with S for S. I don't want to give more to that shit.
Sure.
Let Yona know me.
Sure, you do you, man.
I've jammed with them. They're more about the music than anything else, which is a shame because Michelle doesn't let them be about that. Which, I mean, corpse. Not like we don't know that shit. They're good. So I'm going to keep working that angle. Let them be about the music rather than the message that it's totally okay to want this life of, like, extravagance and all this other shit. Truman doesn't even give a shit about that. Fucking, her dad used to be a cop. Like, in the CZ, a cop.
Okay.
So let me try to get, Yuna down to their level. Or up to their level, as the case may be. So I'm going to keep working it.
Cool.
To be fair, Truman's also cute.
Truman's also a nomad.
I'm sorry, what?
Truman's also a nomad.
Come again for Z.
Truman is a nomad.
Please tell me it's not a rival family of yours.
It's Ray, you said it was was it Aldecaldo?
Yeah.
There could be a story there, that's all. Could be perfectly legit, could be on the level. She could be telling the truth. But everybody's got a reason for joining a nomad clan, whether you're born into it or you're not. And to be accepted like that, separate yourself a little bit, not be as involved for people that would have taken you in like that, could be something, or it could not. I just bring it up, it's why I'm hesitant to really trust her.
It's a good thing to be aware of.
I grew up among nomads too, but my family died, so.
Mine did too.
Mine's all dead, but I never grew up around nomads. So that's a thing to be at least aware of. Is this a rival, Max? Level with me?
No,
Not a
No,
rival?
just another clan. Just another clan of nomads. No,
Okay.
no rivalry or
That's
animosity or anything like that between them and the snakes.
slightly less concerning than before. Because the second you said nomad, I went, that's a rival clan.
It would be quite a story, but no.
No, that's not even a story I would want to publish for the sake of our band. I'm not above a lot of things. That's one of the things I'm actually above.
So, the 2 days pass before your meeting with Michelle in Little China. Is everybody
I
going?
will definitely. I will be letting our manager know that
Tyra?
hey, Michelle's reached out, so she wants to meet. I just don't want. I want you to be aware that she could potentially be infringing on your territory, but we plan on going nowhere with her.
Z is 110% there.
So, Tyra basically responds, do you want me to go with you? Or is it just going to be like, we don't care what the fuck you're selling, we're not taking it situation?
No, come with us. I
Okay.
don't think that would be an issue, actually.
All right. Yeah, Tyra will meet up with you guys. She's still a little bit. She's narrowed down some areas about where she can get you guys a warehouse. She's still working on that angle. It's just she's running some roadblocks she didn't expect. Like, what's really bad? Oh, that's a really great deal, but it's really bad gang territory. Well, let's not go there. And so she's kind of shopping around possible locations. But she meets up with you all as you start heading towards Little China. Now, the drive there is like any other drive through the combat zones. You want to stay relaxed and calm, act natural, that type of situation, so you don't look like a victim. You guys make it to the building without too much of an issue. You were followed for a little bit, probably by some tiger claws, but they didn't really stay on target for too long. They just kind of peeled off. One, the Steak Nation all over the car is kind of a big, no-no. And two, you guys don't do any shit that causes any problems in their turf, so they just kind of don't bother with you. You're not worth the disruption. You make it to the building.
Making sure we're not fucking around.
Right. You guys just drive through. They're not messing with their territory, not doing anything that's, they'd want a cut of. They let you go. Not a big deal. You guys get to the building. It has its own parking garage, kind of built into the bottom levels. You find a parking space. You park. You take the lift up to the penthouse. Essentially, when the doors ding open, it's this massive carpeted hallway. For Z, it's much like the situation for TNT, where it's you walk out, there's like a wall in front of you, and then like that leads around to an open area. You guys step out of there, and you can hear people talking on the other side of one of the walls. This is mostly an open floor plan, but there are some rooms here and there. But for the most part, the entire floor of this building is open. It's rimmed with floor-to-ceiling windows that get this amazing view of Night City. You get the remnants of the city center. You've got Upper Marina just north of you. You can see across the Westbrook to the east. You can see south further into Little China and Japantown. It's a good view, 360 view of the city from the building. You see Michelle is talking with Wallace. Wallace was the PR guy essentially for TNT. He's the one who was meeting with people, Jackson Wallace. You guys, Max and Z met him on the upper level and ground zero that first night. They're standing by an island by a kitchen. And there's no furniture, by the way, in this apartment at all. It's all bare. It's got carpet and tile here and there. It's all decked out, but it doesn't look like anybody lives here. But you see Michelle and Jackson leaning on this island in the kitchen area. There's this ice bucket with a bottle of champagne in it. When she hears you walking over, Michelle looks over and smiles. She goes, these are people I wanted to see. Come on in.
Obviously, walk towards them. Enter,
As you guys walk
flanking
up, you will see as you kind of pass into that area, there's a security person to either side wearing nice suits. They're just they eye you. For CD as a solo, you can tell they're probably solos, the ease in which they kind of examine each of you and kind of move on to the next person. The practiced stance they have where they look relaxed, but you can tell they're probably tensed for danger in case something erupts here. But they're not aggressive. They're on guard duty essentially.
Well, me too. Truth be told, I'm in the same mode.
They just
definitely armed and definitely as guard.
And they are armed as well. You can see the bulges from under their jackets from the heavy pistols. They just give you a nod as you kind of look them over. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. It's good to see we're both working.
Right. We are on the job. Everybody's on the job. So you guys walk forward and you see Michelle. She's wearing this very conservative power suit, essentially. Pinstripe suit. She's got a pair of glasses on, rimless. And she sweeps kind of some of her dark hair back as she looks over the five of you. And it's like, so, great show. Went really well. We're seeing some weird numbers after the fact. Some lesser than we expected. But the show itself did amazingly. And I don't know who you guys have as a PR person, but she looks at Jackson. Mr. Wallace, no offense, but I would be willing to take them on as well as Mr. Wallace because they did an amazing job, well beyond any projections that we expected. I just want to say thank you.
Well, we did us, and that's what matters.
Yep.
Yeah, hey, and apparently You Doing You sells a lot of merch and a lot of music and a lot of pay-per-views. So that being said, she actually reaches into this little handbag she has on the island, opens it up, in view, so it's not like it's a weapon that is seen inside.
Right.
But she pulls out 5 key cards and puts them on the table and gestures to the apartment like, this is yours. 6 months, we've paid for it, no strings attached. I don't care if you want to do deals with us or not. You made more than enough for us to afford this place for you as a token of our esteem.
I see. Well, it's good that we made so much money
It is, because
that we will never see.
I gotta tell you, hey, that's on you. We paid out what was in the contract. If you guys want to do more stuff, hey, I'm up for talking about record stuff. To be completely honest, I'll rep you for lower than my normal rate, given the numbers you guys put out last night. I'll just take live share. You know, I don't even worry about what you get off of merch. Just live broadcast would be enough for me. But that's a whole other topic between me and your manager and legalese and teams.
Like I said, we'll keep it in our back pocket, in my back pocket. And for Ray, so you're aware, I don't have pockets.
She's kind of like,
Just
all
your
right.
prison pocket.
Hey, so Wallace has a couple things he wants to kind of say to you guys about branding from here on out. So I'm just gonna turn it over to him, and he'll stand up. And Wallace is, again, he's a clean cut, Caucasian guy. He's got a strong jaw, very easy to look at eyes, or they kind of take you in. He pushes off from the island and just kind of dusts off the lapels of his suit jacket. He's like, all right, listen, we've got this strategy already rolled out for you guys and TNT, and what went down with your show and this new type of shock music, I guess live performance thing. Because what you guys did wasn't really at the end their music. That was more of a performance piece and more of a message delivery system. And I think that's great. And it resonates with a lot of viewers. So going forward, should we do more business, we would probably want to put you guys forward as larger venues to do things along the lines of what you did with that show at Ground Zero. It brought a lot of interest. We got a lot of commentary positive off of that. And the idea that DMB is putting forward a band that actually has songs that are negative about DMB works in our favor, because it's this weird sort of contradiction that draws attention. So going forward, I think we have a really good position market-wise to make something unique out of the situation.
Interesting, and I agree with everything you said. As a matter of fact, I was kind of curious as to like how big, like this big venue you're speaking of, like what type of things did you have in mind specifically? I know you said you wanted to go bigger, but in what manner?
Well, that really has to be kind of worked out between myself and Michelle and your manager once we make any sort of agreements. Ground Zero is a great local venue. It's a great mid-sized club that has a good standing room for its house area. It's got good name recognition in the the marina and then Watson. So it's a great place, but there are other venues that we could stake out and see about, like Wild Westbrook, for example. We've got TNT doing a show there in like a week. We've got a couple of the venues that are more towards the executive zone, but I really don't think that's really going to be a good audience for you guys. So I'd probably go more towards the west side of Night City, maybe lacing some of the combat zone areas. That would get you a good draw and a good populace, essentially.
I'll just kind of look over at Tyra, and I'll be like, well, I mean, whatever you send over to Tyra, we'll all take a look at, and we'll definitely get back to you.
Tyra kind of chuckles. As you mentioned that, she steps forward and goes, listen, this is all great and well. I really like this out loud thinking that we're doing. However, as you know, as I know, and as my clients will know now, we're not saying anything in affirmative or negative until we get something in writing in terms of a proposal. So really great and well that we're doing this brainstorming, but it really amounts to nothing unless it's in writing, right? And you'll see Michelle kind of like do like a tut really quick, like, oh, okay. And Wallace is like, oh, fair enough. No, I will draw something up for you guys. Not a problem. And she's like, yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. As for this, and she'll gesture to the apartment, I want it in writing as well that there is nothing nothing holding my clients to your organization or any subsidiaries, derivatives, individuals of interest, or even banks. You've covered this. I want this 6 months, you said. And Michelle just nods. Prepaid in writing that they can stay and do whatever they want to the property for that amount of time. And Michelle goes to raise a finger and goes, whoa, 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 whoa. Within the terms of the lease. And she's like, well, yeah, sure. But you don't own anything here. You don't get a dime of anything here. You're not allowed on the premises unless they invite you. It will be their place. And she's like, well, I mean, yeah, of course. And Tyra's like, good. In writing, please. Send it to my agent when you're ready. But until then, you can keep those fucking cards. And she'll
I'll
look
just
back
kinda
at you
shrug
guys.
and be like,
So glad Z's wearing a mask.
You know, it's really interesting to me that you would take what we're doing and treat it as if it were a marketing ploy. And I'll kind of turn my head towards the two solos standing by the door. I really appreciate that you brought those two gentlemen with you, because if they weren't here, I would beat both of you to death where you stand. You don't understand what we're doing. You don't get it. We're not here to sell our image to you. We're not here to be famous. We're not here to make money. This isn't some way for you to drive more funds into your coffers. And I appreciate this little dog and pony show personally. But if I were here alone and those two guys weren't here, this wouldn't be ending with a handshake.
Michelle kind of smiles at you sweetly, but it's a sterile smile. Obviously, it doesn't touch her eyes. I appreciate your straightforwardness, Mr. Driver. But first off, you don't go anywhere in this business without having a gun pulled on you a couple times with the intent of somebody to use it. So your threat, I appreciate it. It shows you have heart, and it shows that you actually have some sense of who you want to be, and this kind of rides roughly against that, and I get that. That's fine. But if you didn't want to be famous, you wouldn't have had whoever it was that you had on your side doing the PR blitz across the data pool the way it was done. You saw more traffic than a TNT live show that was brain danced has done. So you had somebody on your side putting the word out there for your name to get your message out. So yes, you do want to be famous. You just don't like the way I would make you famous. And I get that. I understand that. That's fine. Maybe that rubs against your conscience, the fact that I make money off of it, that my corporation that I work for makes money off of that. But this benefactor you have, they're making just as much, if not more. So before you start throwing stones this direction, look at your own house. But we'll leave the
I'm
keys
well
here,
aware.
and we'll send you the paperwork. And she nods at Tyra. We'll leave you to it. Enjoy the champagne. She gestures towards the bucket, and her and Wallace go to start walking out. Do you let them go, or do you stop them?
I'm not going to stop.
not stopping.
Let him go.
No.
Okay.
I am not trying to get into a gunfight in this particular meeting. No.
Okay. Well,
Maybe
they'll
in
walk
future
out.
meetings, just not this
Right.
one.
We're not trying to
Right.
get CD into a fight tonight.
We're not going to rule it out for future endeavors.
No. But
So Michelle and Wallace will walk out. You'll see the two solos kind of give CD a nod. Not really happily or even angrily. It just kind of, we get where you're coming from, but we're on the job. And they walk out too. The elevator dings. You hear the lift take them down, leaving the six of you, the five of you with Tyra, up here in the penthouse. And Tyra just kind of takes a deep breath and sighs.
I'll just kind of gesture to the whole place. I'll be like, so this would be another thing that would be excellent to give away at our needs drive.
It's yours for 6 months as long as I get the paperwork. But yeah, I mean,
What's
And we
what's
give it
the
to people who
paperwork
need
say?
it more than us.
I don't know. I
should
haven't
make
gotten
a
it
movie.
yet.
We should make a music video of us trashing the fucking place.
Let's wait for the paperwork.
there's a family who could live for 6 months here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
let's
multiple
wait.
look
I think Vox has got it right, man. Who can throw some temp walls? You know how many families could live in this
Multiple
motherfucking place?
families could live here for 6 months.
Let's
safely.
get the
Fuck yeah.
paperwork first. Then it's ours for 6 months.
Right. They paid it.
Absolutely.
They prepaid it 6 months. So they're saying no strings
Assuming
attached.
they're telling the truth.
And also on the back end, we'll find out how much it is to see if we can, after the 6 months is up, keep paying for those families to stay here.
If we make
Right.
if we make enough.
Yeah. I don't think.
Awesome.
Get people off the street, man. I mean, seriously,
I don't disagree.
Can we
kids don't need to be on the street.
can we address the elephant here, Mr. White?
Which one?
Mr. White.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The white elephant.
Potentially AI, but may not be AI. But possibly is an AI.
whatever the fuck he or it or she or whatever is, AI, human, in between, I don't know, I don't care.
Just go with that.
We need to figure something out about them.
I agree. We had to do this, one, because it ensured your safety in this and your nursing back to health.
Favor for a
and
favor.
Mine.
Yeah,
and
I
mine.
get that.
So, but we should look into what type of money he ran into and where he's putting it. Because if he's putting it in similar places we are, or in places to fight the corpse, because I don't know what this person's about, then I'm okay with it.
I can't guarantee any of that.
I didn't ever said you could. I'm just saying we need to look into it, whether it's through your means or through asking around or for getting in closer to Mr. White so he reveals more of himself to us.
I'm gonna
Right.
let you all worry about that. The more I worry about it, the more my conscience gets involved, and the more she's right. So I'm just gonna remain willfully ignorant.
Well, either way, we have other than this last show, we have no future ties to him. We
Which
make
point
no
we would have to
long-term
wonder
plans with
about-
anyone except for Tyra.
Which point we would have to wonder about how much he planned in advance, such as.
Again, we did what we did to get the funds we got to now give back, and that's the important part, and the message that was sent out. That's it.
And
Right.
making sure you and Tyra were healthy, yes. I
Well,
don't disagree. A favor
yeah.
for a favor. The favor was done.
Tyra just nods. She goes, no, I get that. This was a bad situation that we really had no other alternative out of. And I get that. We made a deal with White. White got what he wanted out of it. Apparently broadcast this shit everywhere. I'm still like wondering what he's getting out of it. Like that I don't get yet.
I don't
So
know. He made it a
That's-
point to say that we need to put our best foot forward with the Continental brand stuff because whatever his aims were and goals were, it was towards Continental brands. Whether it's a hate thing or I don't know what he's got going on.
I'm going to
Either
go
way.
with it's a hate thing because he had us play
right.
Well, and
songs that were against them.
but as you heard from her before she left, or actually it was the guy, whatever his name is, that was with her. They played
The reverse branding thing.
right. It's like an angle. And
Could
truth be told, yes, that does really annoy me. But here's how I rationalize this. Before we did this show, we didn't have 50K to give anybody. And
Right.
after we did the show, we got 50K that we can use to help people. Corps are going to make money. If they're making money off our music, they're not making money off the blood and guts and sweat of common people in the street.
Well, and my
And
point comes
the further our message got, which means we reached more people, which means more people will be willing to hear us.
and I'm going to point out maybe an unpopular opinion here, but we may have wrangled them just a little bit, enough that they're willing to sit down and talk and make it seem like we have done them a favor. Chances are we haven't. Not with the people, which is who they need to control.
Yeah,
Time will tell.
and we need to break that control. That's all.
Well, giving the 50K back might be a good start.
Well,
That's why we're doing it.
I will let you all know what I get off the paperwork for this place. Because
Please.
I got a friend who actually was kind of still is on contract basis, a corporal lawyer. So I'll have her look at the contract just to make it legit. And if it is for this place, then I guess we'll talk about next steps. But hey, if you want to get a anti-corp thing out, I mean, this would be a great place to get to somebody who hates the corpse.
Absolutely.
But I'm also concerned. I'm curious about. I picked this up that she said they saw some traffic drop off after the live show. So I'm curious what that's all about, given Vox's last message at the end of the show. So,
Oh,
Oh yeah.
do you want to know? Because TNT had a drop off.
Right.
sure, if you know about it, I know that at least what she said is that they saw numbers drop after you guys' show, in ways they didn't expect. So I'm assuming that's got to be you guys as fans, which
That was part of the point of that last song.
yeah, and I think that gives us leverage if we have to deal with these fuckers again.
And
You know.
the good point of that is Truman, at least, if not Verge, and maybe reluctantly Yona, doesn't see this as a problem.
Well,
I
it's
don't
their
know.
traffic that fell off, but they said they did. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't
In the
matter
end.
I
at
can
all.
tell you, Truman gives 0 fucks.
Yeah, well, I at this point give 0 fucks is what they think because our message is our message. And that's the only thing. That's the only focus we need right now.
And that's the point.
If they're gonna
The
come
band
on
we're
board,
supposed to be
whatever.
against.
Who says we're against them? Nobody.
Have
Who
you
wanted
listened?
us to be against them? No longer matters.
Are
Right.
you talking about
Exactly.
Who
Gigabyte?
the fuck cares?
I'm not talking
Oh.
about Gigabyte.
No.
Fuck Gigabyte. No,
No.
I'm
But I
talking
don't
about
get-
fucking
No,
the broadcasts.
They tried to pin us against TNT.
Yeah,
and
Chet
Exactly.
that failed.
Who the
Like,
fuck
we went
cares?
to
That's
their
a
show,
good thing.
we
That
talked to
fucker's
them
dead.
afterwards.
That fucker's dead. That whole plan's dead. Fucking move on. We
They-
got shit
Right.
we need to do.
Let
I
me
don't give
point
a
out.
fuck if TNT wants to come on board. Cool. If you're gonna help make that happen, cool. But is
Paulie.
it necessary? No.
Baby, hold up. Because that was the plan. That was never TNT's plan. That was Michelle's plan. With
Whatever.
he who will not be
The
named.
branding thing.
Who cares?
That's all it was.
Well,
At
either
this
way,
point, even with the radio broadcasts, they're not even pulling that shit anymore. We're making waves.
yeah. Well,
Not
why don't
necessarily
we
positive or negative, but we're making them.
head the fuck out of here until we figure out what's going on, and
Fuck yeah.
we'll deal with it.
Sounds good.
Let's not give them an excuse to charge us rent.
So you guys head out, and we're gonna wrap there for the evening. You guys leave Little China without incident. You leave the apartment. Tyra takes the keys and just throws them in her bag just in case everything pans out. If not, she's just gonna shred the fuckers. And you guys head back to the hotel you're currently at in Haywood as she's making phone calls on the drive back out about locating a good warehouse for you guys. You still haven't heard back yet from the trailer job for Rogue, but that may be another couple days, like they were saying. So
Right.
they'll let you know when they know, or when they have something. Essentially, once they get it, that's when you'll get the call, and you guys can arrange, how you want to set that up. But we will end tonight as you guys leave the penthouse and the building in Little China and head back home without any ill incident. And that's a wrap for this episode. Next episode, we're going to catch up with our favorite band slogans for shirts with their drive for the needy and to see how things pan out with their new penthouse and, well, the other things that come attached to their newfound fame, so to speak. So we'll see you next episode.